Hi you guys, this is going to be another video, just letting you guys know what videos you can look at to see how everything has actually progressed. Usually at the end of the videos I ask people for interpretations and any comments. Sometimes people comment, sometimes they don't. Sometimes I always ask the Most High first for an interpretation, and I don't always get it, but usually I do. Now I understand why I didn't get some interpretations for those dreams, because they were not to be interpreted or spoken until now. And now I just went back through a lot of the videos with the visions and dreams that the Most High gave me, and I'm just going to name a few. So you guys, if you want, you can go through and check them out and just see how this all actually processed. Because if you have dreams or visions, you definitely have to start recording them. You have to start writing them down, because there's a path that's being laid. So I'm going to start with one of my most recent dreams here. I'm going to be short because I just explained everything in the previous video. So in this most recent dream I had, it's called Dream of a Train. In that dream is where I saw that Black Panther being put on that red leash with that Indian/Asian looking man. Okay. And also in that dream, when I was crossing a bridge, I looked over and I saw a black man and a white man with their backs up against, like they were on the train tracks, and this huge black locomotive was coming really fast. And the black man told the white man if he puts his back up against the train tracks, the train won't run them over and crush them. He listened, and they both survived. The train came super fast, and after it passed, they were both still there with their backs up against the tracks. They were both fine. They were both alive. So I'm guessing that means those Gentiles that cleave to the Hebrews will survive. You see this video here. Dream of a train and a vision. Then the next dream that I dreamed of about the panther was, let's see what that was called. All right, let's go down here. The panther dream power. This is the first dream I had about that panther that was coming toward me, and then I roared at him and he backed away and went after that Gentile and destroyed her. That was the beginning of the understanding. That panther and in that video I said it seemed like the panther knew me. Like I met him before, like the panther knew me on an intimate level very well. And that panther was the curses of the Most High on the house of Israel. So the panther did know me. Let's see. And if you go back even further, I had a video called, let's see, Coming Out of the Stranger's House. Right here. That's when I had a dream about being in a small studio apartment in like on the inside of a mansion, and I got through the mansion. They were having some type of party where they were working out some type of wickedness, and I got away, but there was a Gentile that tried to follow me and get away, and he was killed instantly by a van. Then there's the other dream I had that's called, let's see, I think it's a change no longer fit. Okay, I think I passed it already. Okay, this return to Africa, change that no longer fit. And now I don't think we were in Africa. I thought we were at the time. We may have been in South America. I don't know where we were, but I don't think we were in Africa. But in this dream, me and one of my relatives, we had gone to a land that was full of sand. It was like a desert, and we had rented this Airbnb. And when we went inside, there were these ancient chain locks on the door that no longer fit, and they wouldn't lock the door. So I took that to mean that was coming up on the end of our captivity. Also, there's another dream that I had. It's called, let's see, what is that other dream? Dream for 2019. Here, dream for 2019. That's a dream I had about being on something that was like a college campus or a higher learning center, and I walked down this steep hill with a man, and he showed me across this gulf. It was like across a canyon, that there was this beautiful land with these tall mountains and waterfalls and this amazing sunset. I think now that was the promised land. That's what I think, or one of the promised lands. I also had a dream called the end of the Gentile nations. Or was that a vision? Let's see here. 3 years ago, the end of the Gentile nations. That's when I had a vision of the leader of the current Gentile nation on a horse-drawn carriage with 3 flat tires. You might want to check that out. Let's see. I also had a dream that I called rough course. Let me see where that is. Here, in this dream, rough course, the Most High had me in a canoe. I was trying to buy a parcel of land at the time. I didn't end up getting it. I was in the canoe, and the canoe was turning to the left, turning to the right. It was almost turning over. I was getting wet. Water was getting into the canoe. And, once I got past that troubled water, which wasn't extreme, but once I got past that, the water was perfectly smooth. And I arrived to a place that was like a temple. And it had exotic animals. It was quiet. The animals were coming up to me to see me. They were very nice. It was like I arrived to a place of peace. And I also had a dream called a dream of the horseman, or a dream of the half horseman. In this dream, I realized now I was riding something that was a person that was half horse and half man, and this horse was taking me somewhere. And this Gentile giant came out, bothering the horseman and trying to stop him from getting me to where I was going. And the horseman jumped up and hooved the Gentile giant to death. Now I realize, if you think about like the 4 horsemen, the horseman was an angel from the Most High. I'm sure of that now. At the time, I was confused. That was about 10 months ago. Now I understand. Let's see. And then there was also the dream of Israel. Let's see. Where is that? I'm sorry, the dream of Israel leaving before the fire. Let me pull that up. Here. In this dream, I was in some place like an airport or some type of gathering spot. And I started noticing this group of Ethiopians. It was a large group of Ethiopians. They got into a single file line, and they started leaving this airport or this open space that we were in. They would go to the refrigerator and pull out this flattened bread, which I now know as leavened or unleavened bread, that I believe they took that when they were getting out of Egypt as well. The unleavened bread and something else they took. But at the time in the dream, I didn't know what it was. It just looked like a flat bread that they were taking out, and a few other things, flour and some other stuff. And so I got into the line with the Ethiopians, and I got out of there, and one of the Ethiopians told me that the building was on fire, and we needed to get out of there before the building burned down. And there were many nations of people in this place, but they were all just living life like everything was normal, nothing had changed. But the Ethiopians were the only ones that knew that it was a fire, and they were wearing these ancient clothes. That's why I noticed them right away. I got into the line with them. I'm sure they were Israelites, and we left. We got on a large bus, and I was driving the bus, and I drove the bus backwards up a windy road. Again, I didn't really understand what that meant. Now I think it means us as the Hebrews are going back to the Most High. We're taking the path back to the Most High. That's what I'm almost sure that's what it means. Let's see. Now, I also want to say, in the first dream I told you guys about, that the Most High gave me, the most recent one. Let's see which one it is. the dream of a train. In that train, the Gentile that was saved was the one that cleaved to a man of Israel. I've been hearing things about this, but this is my first time seeing it with my own eyes. So I've had other dreams as well of bombs being dropped on the earth from spaceships. I've had all types of dreams and visions from the Most High. So if you guys want to go through any of these and just look at them and, you know, listen to them again, because I don't think I'm missing anything, but maybe they'll jog your memory and you'll remember some things. But it looks like it is the judgment of the Gentiles has finally come to the land. So again, I'm just letting you guys know. If you have any questions, please let me know. Let's see. Another guy, his channel is called Sharing the Gifts. He has brought a lot of things to my mind or to my remembrance by listening to some of his dreams. And there's another guy I've been watching lately. I think his name is Big Judah. He does certain videos about things, and you might want to check his channel out. If you guys have any questions or if you've been having dreams, please let me know. All right, thank you.